After which we'll listen to the voice of Minority Leader in Parliament, Osahin Kwamena Alexander Afenyomakin. When we come back, we'll put all these matters in context. Why should it concern you this morning? We'll tell you exactly why. Take a listen.
This word now. And why have you not heard Afenyo say anything about that? Or challenge me? Or threaten to sue? So the MPP people talking, there are things you don't know. I will not just, I'm a consummate Democrat. I eat and drink debates.
You call the minority leader an extortionist.
I'm not worried if you criticize him. Yes. And that is why he cannot comment on that or even challenge me. He cannot. Because he knows that what I said is true. So there are many things that you may not have the benefit of. But let me talk about my good brother.
Fioma King is a self-made man.
No problem.
He's got the chain of businesses.
Maybe tell him that.
Why does he need to come and extort money from Gold Board?
Tell him that you want to be his lawyer so that he sues Sammy Gyamfi to substantiate that claim. Tell him. Or tell him that you give him an interview here and Sammy Gyamfi will come and that you should dare Sammy Gyamfi. That is not an insult. I'm speaking about what has happened, and you know.
So we're going to courts on the other issue. Regarding,
I have made certain.
I've seen your statement.
I'm saying I've made certain statements. I would rely on them without more. Don't rush. You see, in the Bible, Jesus was accused, vowed, allegations. He kept quiet and watched them. He could have done anything, but you see, when you are dealing with situations, the people of Ghana expect a certain level of maturity from me. The people of Ghana see that this is an accomplished businessman. He's been in the space for some time. He's leading a group. The tradition of the party MPP that I lead expects a certain level of conduct. So if I would be carried away with emotions, I will fail. It's not an emotional game. It's not a game that somebody attacks you, you should also react. No, you won't get it. There's always a bait in politics. But
you see this as a bait?
I'm saying that there is always a bait.
No, I'm asking you specific questions.
I'm saying that there's always a bait in politics. And don't underestimate. Opponents also have a strategy. I was a majority leader. I know how government operates. I know how government can divert attention. So I've been there. Because the government must hold itself together. So it can be throw this in. Today, social media, let's divert attention. Let's stain the man. But look, Carlos.
Is that what is happening?
Carlos, in opposition, like I said, was Atufose not in court? Was it not worse than my situation? You get what I mean? So, as for this game, I want to assure the party that the mandate they gave me, God willing, that mandate will be discharged. We would work hard. The people of Ghana expect us to do nothing less. They expect us as minority to be forthright, to work hard, to hold the feet of government to the fire. We will do that. All other things that will come, we'll deal with it. So don't worry. Tomorrow we are resuming. We pray that the motion will be admitted. We argue, set up the ad hoc committee so that within the period of break, at least there will be hearing.
Okay.
So that by October, before we read the 2027 budget is read, I hope by that time the report will be ready. And once it is ready, the good people of Ghana would see. But I pray for a live broadcast of the hearing. Okay? And I also pray that there will be no U-turn.
The Gold Board hearing?
Yes, the Gold Board hearing. Yeah, you want a headline? Yes, you want a headline.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, the Gold Board hearing. We can safely say that. We expect that once the motion is carried, there will be a full public hearing of these Gold Board losses.
Diversionary tactics or a legitimate claim? Let's get on to Zoom right about now and speak with Solomon Owusu. He's the Director of Communications for the United Party, and he's one of the petitioners in this particular instance. And let's get some more clarity on this petition. Solomon, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Helen, and good morning to your in-studio panelists.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we've laid the foundation and we've sought to get a summary of your petition, but I'll start with the most basic question. What exactly prompted you to file this petition now? What did you hear or see that made you conclude that this had crossed the line from political rhetoric to something requiring a criminal investigation?
Well, when I heard a response from Afenyo, that was what became the red line for myself and my brother Andrea Piadankwa, because we thought that Sammy Gyamfi had raised a very serious allegation that demanded equally serious response. The least Afenyo could do was to head to the court immediately. But his response did not give us any indication. So we were afraid that this matter will be left at the levels of radio and TV discussions and nothing will be done about it. That is why we said we needed to let people be busy in the system. Yeah.
To let people be busy in the system. Now, you've heard from Honorable Minority Leader. He says that this is a diversionary tactic and that this is something that governments will typically do to sort of water down important issues. He himself and his side in Parliament had addressed the good people of Ghana to make claims about certain losses made by the gold board. We've had extensive discussions about that, and I think we've got some more clarity on that. But what do you say to that rebuttal from him that this is just diversionary tactics, that this has no legs, and much like Jesus, he will be keeping silent?
The man wasn't silent. First of all, who brought this whole issue of gold board into the public discourse? It was Afenyo himself that conducted a press conference that leveled series of allegations against gold board. Now, the gold board CEO takes his stand and also counter-lay allegations or claims against the very person that led the press conference. And this time around, it borders on criminality. Extortion is a crime under our laws. And if you read our Constitution, Article 1, it talks about the sovereignty of this country. The sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people on whose behalf all powers of the state will be exercised for. So when Sammy Gyamfi leveled an extortion allegation against Afenyo, we saw it as a very grievous crime, because then it means Afenyo, if it's proven to be true, has not been using the power that is supposed to be used to benefit all of us in our interest, but rather using the very power that has been entrusted to him by us to rather enrich himself. And that is how we view it.
Now, your petition repeatedly refers to an alleged demand for some $1 million. What is your understanding of the source of that specific figure? And are you satisfied that Gold Board CEO Sammy Gyamfi has actually made an allegation in those precise terms?
You see, let me put it. We sit on a lot of informations, and in the coming days, we will be exposing a lot of politicians in the country who are putting our brothers and sisters in public office under serious and strenuous pressure. They frame stories, go at them, and then when those that have fainted hearts go and sit them behind the scenes and pay them, though they have not done anything wrong. And that is what this whole banter between Sammy Gyamfi and Afenyo is beginning to expose. And like I said, we'll be doing an expose on such issues. The country called Ghana is suffering from some of these things, and is the reason why corruption is so rife. If you have public officials who go to their colleague public officials and threaten them with exposing them on matters that borders on criminality, failure not to pay will put them in the bad light, then where are we heading to? If you are Afenyo, the claim by Sammy Gyamfi is that Afenyo Markins threatened that if he does not pay, he would expose the gold board. So, granted what Sammy Gyamfi is saying is true, does it mean that Sammy Gyamfi can do or commit a crime, and once he goes to pay, public officials that are supposed to serve our interests will just sit aloof, they will sit quiet, go mute, and not expose such rots in the system? That is how we see it. And for us, it is not something that we must be toiling with.
And of course, these are very serious allegations, and this is something that we touched on this morning, is that the wider implications could be dire. such that if all it takes is $1 million for certain roads to be covered up, that's definitely not going to bode well for this country called Ghana. Now, Solomon, you mentioned some exposés that we should be looking forward to. How soon should we be looking forward to these?
At the moment, I'm out of the jurisdiction together with my brother Andrew. When we come back, we will be exposing all, because you see, it's becoming one too many.
When are you back?
And we, God willing, by the 5th of September, I should be in the jurisdiction, and then we will be in the process of exposing all. And unfortunately for these people, Helen, can you imagine? They do things with impunity as though there's no tomorrow. They leave traces, they send text messages, they do audio calls, and so on and so forth. They write emails. So people have actually gathered all this information, and then once we petitioned, since yesterday till this morning, they have been sending us a lot of information, and it is mind-blowing. And I can't believe it. Now, why must we do this to ourselves? Public officials are supposed to serve to the best interest of the country. If you are pushing them to be doing things outside their remit, what you are telling them is that, yes, go and steal to come and satisfy our private pockets. And that is why we must take the issue of Afenyo very serious. Remember, Afenyo was once your majority leader.
Indeed.
He was once your board chair of Ghana Water Company. He was once your board chair of the company of Ghana. Happens, any investigation conclude that indeed Afenyo engaged in extortion, can we quantify the level of extortion that he engaged in whilst he was the majority leader, he was the board chair of Ghana Water Company, he was ECG board chair. And that is how we see it. This is not to say that he has, as a matter of fact, engaged in any extortion, but should the investigation conclude, Helen, then where would our democracy be heading to? And that is why every Ghanaian must join us in nibbling this in the bud.
Is there a potential then that, you know, it wasn't Afenyo Marking himself making such demands, allegedly, and that perhaps a third party acting on his behalf? Because these are two very different allegations then.
So if you read our petition carefully, we anticipate it could be agents that are representing allegations. Why do you say either third parties and so on and so forth, so that we bring all these Goro boys in the system and deal with them once and for all.
Now, Solomon, I know you have to leave us very shortly, but a few more questions, and then we'll bid you farewell and come back in studio. Now, your petition is asking investigators to secure phone records. You're asking for WhatsApp messages, emails, recordings, payment instructions, and device data. What evidence do you currently believe exists, and whose devices or records should investigators be looking at? Whose WhatsApp messages should we be looking at?
So Sammy Gyamfi was the one that made the allegations. I mean, the voice that you played, he was very emphatic that he was daring Afenyo to sue him, or he was daring Afenyo to appear on the show with him, and he would prove to him that he's an extortionist. So we believe that some of these discussions might have taken place either via phone calls, WhatsApp messages, audio recordings here and there. So he will be the prime suspect in this. Again, we also had Mr. Eric J. also collaborate the position of Sammy Gyamfi. So we believe that he must be having information very vital to any investigations that will be happening. Helen, let me say that our disappointment has to do with the fact that state institutions did not need us to even petition before they kickstart any investigations. I mean, why must OSP sit down when allegations of extortion is being leveled against a public official? Why must Parliament not issue a statement on it? What about charge, abuse of power or abuse of office? We believe that state institutions must begin to act without even petitions. But like I said, we are building a democracy, so we are all of them in this regard. But going forward, we expect them to be acting on their own.
What do you say to critics who suggest that, your petition is simply weaponizing an allegation made by Sammy Gyamfi against Afenyo Marking for political purposes.
The allegation borders on criminality under our laws. It borders on abuse of office under our laws. It brings the integrity of Parliament into disrepute, the institution called Parliament. And so, contrary to the view that we are only giving currency to an allegation, those that are making such allegations must rather be thanking us for bringing life to this issue and wanting to deal with a matter that has pervaded or existed in our system for far too long. And in so doing, bringing the perpetrator of such crimes into book.
Now, if Sammy Gyamfi cannot substantiate the allegation, your petition says the conclusion should be communicated clearly to protect Afenyo Marking's reputation. Do you think, however, some damage might already be done with this back and forth we're already seeing in the media?
You see, so the petition is in two parts. Like Riley said, we are not concluding that Afenyo has actually engaged in an extortion behavior. It is also bringing the credibility of Sammy Gyamfi into the limelight, that he was bold and vociferous on TV and clear in his mind that Afenyo Markings had engaged in extortion behavior. And so it is also a burden of after under our laws. It is who he alleges that must prove. So we are shifting the burden to Sammy Gyamfi to substantiate the very allegation he made against Afenyo Markings, so that it has the potential of also clearing the name, the reputation, the integrity of Afenyo Markings, and by extension, restoring the integrity and reputation of the Parliament of Ghana. Remember, the Parliament of Ghana in this moment does not have the credibility that it deserves. As we speak, there is a member of Parliament who is languishing in jail. I hope you know that. And so, if you have a member of Parliament who is now in jail in somewhere, Amsterdam, and you have another member of Parliament, a leader of Parliament being accused of engaging in extortion behavior, then how honorable is the House? Remember, we call them honorable.
Indeed.
Which honorable takes extorts? So it is for Parliament to be interested in this matter, to purge itself of that reputational damage.
Certainly. Solomon, thank you for your time this morning and for further clarifying the petition and also your position on the petition. We look forward to your return into this jurisdiction because you've got a lot more in store for us, an expose, you say. And this is something that we believe all of us should be deeply interested in, as you've concluded for us. Honorable members of Parliament should be seen doing only honorable things. And so we're grateful for your time this morning. Enjoy the rest of your trip and see you shortly.
Thank you very much, Helen, and greetings to your entire crew.
Thank you so much. Again, Solomon Owusu is the Director of Communications for the United Party. He's one of the petitioners into this matter, this ping-pong we're seeing currently unfold. The gold board controversy widens. But what do you make of all of this? Do be sure to engage with us on our socials. Also send us a message on WhatsApp and let's read out your thoughts as well. Back in studio, Patrice Mawina and Godfred still here with us. Godfred Maim of the NDC. I should also mention that we had billed to have Kamal Dean Abdullahi, Deputy National Comms Director of the NPP, on the show this morning, but due to an emergency, he's unable to join us. But we will be seeking to have another rep of the New Patriotic Party join us very, very shortly to also have his bite on this. I want to come to Godfred ultimately, but I'll ask my colleagues in the studio if they have any quick thoughts on what we've listened to so far. Sammy Gyamfi, Afenyo Marking, and ultimately Solomon Owusu. Patrice.
Well, for Solomon Owusu and the petition that they put across, well, it seems like it's been well put out there. My question I'm asking is that, is it a serious thing that they mean? When I say a serious thing that they mean, like the way it's been put out, it's been written out, it is fine and all that. But you know, sometimes these things, they just come just to create a sort of whitewashing for us. Hey, there's a euphoria about Sammy Gyamfi, we're going to court, they should petition, charge them, do this. Some people just do it for political coloration. I hope that all what he is saying, that when they come, lots of people are going to be in hot waters, that people are going to be in trouble, they have more information and all that, shouldn't just be something hogwash. They should come and prove to us, because what Solomon said has been recorded, that when they come, they have a lot more information on this matter. So whatever information that he has, that we do not have, he should come and prove to us. Otherwise, it becomes a political ding-dong. It is coming from this angle, that angle, this person stretching this by, then the petition will fall flat, then nothing would happen. I am pretty sure that by the time it gets there, the two of them would have amicably settled it. If the Attorney General takes hold of this matter, it will be settled. The only person who may be able to hold it and give it some life would be the OSP. So that is my take on it. Well, it is somebody's intention, petition, to get this matter resolved one way or the other, but I do not trust it fully.
Now, where are your trust levels at?
I think it's a step in the right direction in terms of what it is that we're seeing play out. I mean, I started off by saying that I initially didn't want to give a lot of credence to this, but
So to clarify that for me, Mana, because that also, piqued my interest. What are you not seeking to give credence to? Is it the allegation or the petition?
This was no. I mean, the entire conversation to have started off. I believe it was just politics. I mean, we from the conversation which started to the reaction, I felt it was politics. Both political parties, particularly the minority, because they kick-started the angling of the conversation, right? Deciding to go on a tangent, like the minority leader, deciding to go on a tangent which completely was not beneficial to anybody, because there were legitimate questions that ought to have been asked instead of suggesting Gold Board had made a loss, which was not accurate, right? And so that's how I treated it for a great deal of time. But on the back of the allegations and the doubling down on same, it suggests this should not be let lying loose. But we can walk and still chew gum. So whilst we're asking investigative agencies to look into this, the questions which ought to be answered in relation to that 22 billion, that 21.89 billion CD loss, which we round up to 22 billion, must still be asked. And we must still seek to find out if indeed the change in approach by the Gold Board is actually what is, such that we don't return to 22 billion CDs. Because as we've spoken, and a lot of the time for us media persons, when we fact check the claim, the suggestion is, on the side of the current administration, or no, nobody is interested, or nobody wants to make an excuse as to 22 billion CDs in terms of losses.
I think that's very legitimate, Marna, that actually now I understand your perspective. In as much as this new issue has been thrust before us, we still must keep that other conversation alive. We've established, as per all the fact-checking and conversations we've had last week, that this is not a Gold Board loss. However, this model that the NDC is continuing on, are there ways that we can improve upon it to ensure that the losses are minimized? We shouldn't let that conversation slip by whilst we interrogate these new issues, and we look forward to an expose come September 5th when Solomon Owusu and co touch down live in the jurisdiction. But Godfred Maim of the NDC is still here with us. And we heard from Afenyo Marking. He says he's been in government before. These are some of the tactics that are employed, diversionary ones, if you will, so that we don't ask for our money. We don't come in and ask you to account for this 22 billion Ghana cedi loss. Is that what we're seeing unfold, or does this alleged claim have legs?
Yes, I think I'm also highly expectant of Solomon to come and give us that expose, because everyone is sitting on tenterhooks and ready to know what he has. But I want us to go back to where this whole issue of Gold Board making losses commenced. You see, we saw Kojo upon Nkrumah in the picture. at the beginning of it, who has just fizzled out. And then Afenyo Markin came and was saying a whole lot of things in Parliament, organizing press conferences. We know what is happening in Gold Board. We know what is happening in Gold Board. The question is, what do you know? The point is that what Afenyo Markin alleges to know is non-existent, because his claim is that Gold Board has made losses.
In fact, he made some claims about certain procurement irregularities at Gold Board and so on and so forth.
They all remain claims. But going forward, he added that Gold Board has made losses. So if you have made losses, on what basis do you insinuate that Gold Board actually made losses? And then you come to tell Ghanaians that the loss amounts to 22 billion Ghana cedis. Let us assume that is true. Adduce reasonable and concrete evidence before us as Ghanaians to come to terms with the reality you want us to believe. But to be insinuating and creating that impression that there are losses, and yet you cannot point to something concrete, is very unfortunate. And you see, looking at his stature in our politics in this country, as a minority leader, he is someone who automatically earns some level of respect, both from the NDC and even cherished by his own MPP. But it appears as though Afenyo Markin has put himself in a situation where his own party is unable to defend him. So you come out and you make a lot of spurious claims and allegations, and there's no substance to them. So you even find out that a lot of people who want to speak to his defense, when they are asked to tell them whether this is a true Gold Board loss, are unable to substantiate that claim. But let us look at Gold Board's own account. What do they say? Gold Board, through Sammy Gyamfi, as the CEO, has told us that they have increased our reserves from 8.9 million Ghana cedis to, I think, a billion Ghana cedis to 13 billion Ghana cedis. The question we are putting before Afenyo Markin is this true or false? And is it to the benefit of this country or not? And also in the Auditor General's report, Sammy Gyamfi has pointed out clearly that Gold Board has made 5.4 billion Ghana cedis surplus. Is this also true? Why is Afenyo Markin not speaking to this? Why is nobody in the minority or MPP speaking to these positive indicators? So, in my opinion, I sense some kind of mischief. And the mischief MPP is trying to do is that they want to tarnish the image of Sammy Gyamfi.
To what end?
To the end that they see Gold Board as a highly successful state entity. And it cannot go without criticism. That I agree. But if you are coming up with allegations, those allegations must be grounded on truth. They must be grounded on issues that you can put in the public domain for people to see that, yes, these are the realities. But we now come to a situation where Honorable Afenyo Markin grants interviews and he says, he is a minority leader, and when people hear him, they must hear substance from him.
Indeed.
Yes, he has said that on other platforms. When people listen to him, they must deduce that he is making a lot of sense and that there's substance in a lot of things that he's saying. But all his allegations have no substance. Not at all. Not at all. And he even goes further to say that when Jesus was accused, he kept quiet. It's not in all instances that Jesus was accused and Jesus kept quiet. You see? And in this case, we are talking about issues of law, public concern, governance, accountability, probity, and accountability.
So in this particular instance, he shouldn't take the Jesus route. He should speak up.
No, he should speak up. Because we're in Ghana, you have been entrusted with a responsibility. And rightly so, as a minority leader, you are keeping this government in check, which we agree with. We like it because this government is doing so well. And sometimes if you are doing well, if you are an A student, or if you are in primary school and you are scoring 100%, and you slip to even 90%, you are still within the A range. But if you don't get someone to push you, you will not maintain that consistency of good performance. You keep sliding down. And we in the NDC are not afraid to be criticized. No, we are not afraid to be called out. Not at all. As a matter of fact, what we want is constructive criticism. Because in the end, Ghana must move forward. We must not come to a situation where we say, oh, President Mahama is doing well, NDC has majority in parliament. I like the fact that the minority in parliament call themselves mighty minority.
You say you like it?
No, I like the fact that the minority call themselves mighty minority.
What do you like about that?
I like it because it now puts a task on them to truly demonstrate to us that they are a minority of substance. In terms of their criticism, in terms of the ideas they bring on board for us to build this country. But on the contrary, I don't like to say this. On the contrary, the minority is proven to be very, very, very irresponsible through their own leadership. They are proven to be very, very irresponsible through their own leadership.
How is that irresponsibility manifesting?
It's irresponsible when you make claims and you cannot substantiate same. It becomes irresponsible where we should be engaging on key dialogues nationally to help us build, stabilize, and then move this country forward. And yet you bring nothing to the table. So it is in the interest of the MPP, as a political party that has paid its dues to the democracy of this country, to go into a deeper reflection. And when they go into that deeper reflection, it must be on the basis of how to recalibrate their steps, how to put this government in check, to ensure that we do better, to ensure that there is no comfort zone for this John Dramani Mahama government.
You say you welcome that critique?
Oh, yes.
You want to be kept on your toes?
Yes, we want to be kept on our toes.
And you're ready to work with the mighty minority as development partners?
Definitely. But the unfortunate thing they are doing right now is that they are not getting things right. And championing that situation of not getting things right is the minority leader, Afenyo Makin.
Godfrey, thank you for these preliminary thoughts. Let me also welcome into the studio and into the discussion this morning Jamal Uddin Abdullah. He's an NPP National Communications Team member. Jamal, good to see you this morning. Hope you're well.
Good to see you, my princess. What's the name, please?
My name is Helen.
Helen. Good to see you, Helen. First of all, let me say good morning to yourself, your team, and your cherished audience. Those who are watching on social media and those who have tuned in to their radios. In fact, I honestly didn't know I was the one coming here, but...
I know we were just watching you on the television, and now you are here in our studios.
When the invitation came, I had no option or no choice, because this is a platform I respect and admire so much.
We're grateful that you were able to join us. I wanted to just catch you up to speed on what you've missed so far, but I think you are already abreast with this latest development in the Gold Board saga. So before you came, we played the voice of Gold Board CEO Sammy Gyamfi, as well as the Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, minority leader. He's made some rebuttals to these claims made by Sammy Gyamfi. We then also spoke to Solomon Owusu, Director of Comms for the UP Party. He's also a co-petitioner in a petition that we now know has been put out to the relevant investigative authorities because of a claim made by Sammy Gyamfi. So I also pick your preliminary thoughts on this. All Alexander Afenyo-Markin says is diversionary tactics that are being employed by this government. Do you agree?
It is obvious that it's a diversionary tactics. You see, whoever understands PR or whoever understands this politics would obviously be able to see in between the lines. Why am I saying so? The allegation against Afenyo-Markin only came about through the defense of Sammy Gyamfi, who is the Gold Board CEO. What is the issue at stake? The issue at stake is simple. IMF has indicated in its reports that our gold purchasing program has made losses of $1.7 billion.
Now, see, you phrase it differently.
Which is 22 billion Ghana cedis.
Right.
The IMF indicated and used the word losses and went further to detail how the losses came about.
Right.
So I wouldn't sit here as somebody who has sat in the classroom and has a certificate in communication for people to twist the argument or shift the goalposts by making allegations against the lead campaigner who is calling for a parliamentary probe into the losses. It is not new in our politics. Whenever people's back are on the wall, they find ways and means to shift the goalposts. And this is not something new. Initially, they were arresting people that who seem to have a contrary view or critique of government. Whenever the government's back is on the wall, all what they do was to initially arrest people. But now, because there's somebody who is involved that they cannot arrest, they have to go personal.
They can't arrest Afenyo-Markin?
Can they? On what basis?
Can they not?
On what basis? On what basis? I'm just asking.
If there are, these claims are proven, they are only allegations.
I can just walk to the police station and make a claim.
Absolutely not. They've got to be. They've got to be proven.
Come and arrest you.
Absolutely not. But I'm saying that should these claims be proven?
Please allow me to do my submission, because these are as I'm telling you, these are elementary tactics in politics. We've seen it before, and we know how these tactics play. Even in student politics, they'll tell you when your back is on, when you throw an attack, the best. That is why they even say the best way to defend is to attack. So that Afenyo would rather be to the defense. And that is why we are not concentrating on the allegations. If indeed you have evidence to prove that there was an assault, why don't you submit it to the police or the necessary agency that would engage in fair and adequate investigation? But to use that as a defense, please, when you were talking, I was here. When you, I like it. Okay, thank you. Nice one.
Carry on.
Oh, I like that. We'll enjoy the show.
Definitely, we will.
So, you see, the whole saga is simple. We gave Sammy Gyamfi money to go and purchase gold. And the money we gave him, we also set up an institution that gave him the legal backing or constitutional backing for him being the only agency that would trade in gold and gold-related activities in the country. So even you, if you have gold and you want to sell, Gold Board has to come in and they have to take their commission.
Indeed.
Yes. So when the Gold Board went to trade, they incurred some losses, which is $1.7 billion.
You say Gold Board incurred losses?
Yeah. Oh. There have been losses.
Yes.
There have been losses.
Jamal, I just want us to put this to bed.
I don't like this interjections and interruptions.
No, I've got
when
to
I'm
make
making
this
a submission, I know exactly what I've said, and I know where I'm going to land. So when you interrupt me, you disrupt my flow. When I land, you can ask me questions. Then we'll engage.
Please land.
So the $1.7 billion cost. The IMF indicated 3 reasons why those costs has come about. 1, the exchange rates differentials the interbank rates and the aboki rates. What the IMF has continued to affirm is that aboki rates reign superior. Because why? When gold board goes down there to purchase gold from the galamseyers and the large and small scale miners, the money or the rate they use is the aboki rate. And when they come and they are selling the gold, they sell the gold in the Bank of Ghana rate. So there clearly there is a differential there, and the losses is incurred by the activities of Gold Board, not the activities of BOG. Then assay fees, that assay fees, it is Gold Board that takes that. So if there are losses there, it is questions that must be answered. It is part of the factors that contributed to the loss of $1.7 billion. Then it comes about the discount for off-takers. These are not wares and manufacturing. The discount for off-takers, when BOG goes to sell the gold that has been bought by Gold Board, they equally give their off-takers a discount. And that discount has also resulted to the factors that contributed to the 1.7 billion loss. This, when people make these claims, or when people reiterate the report by IMF, it doesn't mean they dislike Sammy Gyamfi. It doesn't mean we are witch hunting him. Sammy Gyamfi might not be my party person, but it doesn't make him my enemy. Today, I sit here as a young man who is in politics saying that I'm happy Sammy Gyamfi has been given a mandate as the CEO of Gold Board.
You're happy?
I'm happy as a young man. I should be. But it doesn't mean that when his stewardship accumulates losses in Ghana's name, those activity or actions that brought about the losses should be ignored. It's as simple as that. So when we are raising these matters and calling for the parliament to open up probe, it is not a witch hunt. So don't come back personally attacking. That is why when a mature person within the NDC heard what was going on, the replies, the arrogance, the abuse of power, the feeling of authority by Sammy Gyamfi, he cautioned them, which is wonderful. He cautioned that, that is not how you talk. But because he is also having an ambition, I'm told he wants to contest as chairman of the NDC, and the money all is in somebody's arena, within somebody's agency. He feared he might not get the necessary support, so had to come and apologize.
He apologized and retracted. All right.
I'm not making a claim. I'm saying, I'm stating, interpret it how you want. I have interpreted it this way.
That's not true. Your
The actions of him,
flawed.
All right, Jamal.
it can be flawed with you.
Thank you for
I don't
those
care.
initial
But
thoughts.
what the fact of the matter is that nobody is witch hunting Sammy Gyamfi.
All right.
The cost or the losses that has been indicated is as a result of activities or action undertaken by Gold Board and BOG.
Thank
so
you
we
for
will
that.
not allow somebody to sit somewhere and make it look as if there haven't been any costs or losses incurred.
I want us to go back on to, if you're watching us on the socials, hello, good morning again, and interrogate this matter a bit further. I thought that last week we had done enough justice to it, but it is only right that we revisit some of these issues. And Godfred, I'll certainly give you an opportunity to rebut. And Jamaldeen, I noticed something different in the way you communicated this morning. Quite differently to what your honorable... bear with me. You didn't want to be slide tackled, so let me also flow. I noted that you indicated there had been losses. Contrary to what your honorable minority leader had said, that Gold Board incurred losses, I note that you haven't said that outrightly this morning. You said activities related to. The critique so far, bear with me. The critique so far has been that you have the minority caucus has legitimate claims. We are not doubting that. But the way in which it was phrased has now made the conversation detour. Certainly, because there have been losses that I am definitely concerned about as an average Ghanaian. We talked about assay fees, differentials in the exchange rates, as well as discounts that have been given. These are legitimate arenas for us to interrogate. Who are these persons who have been given discounted amounts and so on and so forth? Do you not believe it's a legitimate claim that had this press conference been centered around these key issues as opposed to what seemed like a target on Gold Board, it would have elicited a different response?
How did it seem like a target?
You said Gold Board has incurred losses. That is how it was presented. Even you don't say that this morning.
The IMF indicated in its report that the Gold Board has incurred losses. I'm not the one, or Afenyo Makin or the minority.
That is not on the
books
not the
of
one
Gold Board.
That is why
that
you don't understand.
Gold Board has
it's
incurred.
It's a Bank of Ghana loss.
Oh, my brother. Gold Board has incurred losses. Gold Board, in its rebuttal, claims that they have not incurred losses, but it is the BOG that has incurred losses. Now, first of all, let's ask ourselves, did Gold Board indicate that they've incurred losses initially before the IMF report came? They claim no, they've not. Gold Board went further to even say that the program has not incurred losses at anywhere, and they are even doing good to the people of Ghana by making profits.
Right.
But the IMF, who doesn't sit in its room or offices to manufacture reports, who comes to the Bank of Ghana, comes to the Finance Ministry and engages all stakeholders involved to structure a report, go to the Ministry of Finance and stakeholders, including Bank of Ghana, to review the report before publication, indicated that there's been loss. The losses, they made details of how the losses came about. And the losses involve the activities of Gold Board and BOG. And those activities clearly indicated that Gold Board and BOG have incurred losses. So if you decide to say Gold Board has incurred losses, you are not wrong. If you decide to say BOG has incurred losses, you are not wrong. At the end of the day, losses have been made, which involve the activities of the two agencies.
Certainly. Because they're working in tandem, and that's, Godfred, something we can't deny. There are legitimate questions to be asked, but I wanted to pick on something Jamal had mentioned earlier, to also get your thoughts on that at the beginning of, his submission, that these are diversionary tactics. And he asked a very important question, because if the Gold Board CEO, Sammy Gyamfi, had some intel or information concerning the Honorable Alexander Afenyo Marking, why did he not come out with that? It took the press conference and subsequently him responding for him to bring that out.
You see, I think Sammy Gyamfi, as we all know, is a person of great substance.
Therefore.
And I don't have a problem if you interrupt me. So even as I talk, you can be asking questions. I don't have a problem. Therefore, I'm taking a cue from what you have said. Therefore, it was not enough for him to react based on only one press conference. He had to take everything sequentially. Put everything together, and then come out to respond. And in his response, we know in our heart of hearts that he has deflated the bubble the MPP has created. This loss is not in the books of Gold Board.
Wow.
And you need to come to terms with that reality. It's not in the books of Gold Board. And fact-checking results have indicated to us that what you, the MPP, is trying to do is misleading. It is inaccurate. And right now, I tell you that as you sit here, you cannot point anywhere in the books of Gold Board to tell us that there is actually a loss in the books of Gold Board.
We start with IMF and
now, my brother, my brother, listen to me. Listen to me.
I understand.
I understand you because you are struggling to defend your party. It's not easy to defend MPP during the season.
The person here.
But what I want you to know is that nobody is arresting Afenyomakin. No, don't put it out in the public, trying to throw dust into the eyes of people that they are trying. Who is trying to arrest him? There is a petition by the United Party, a defunct group from your own party, asking for a probe. And even Sammy Gyamfi has indicated that he will make himself available for a bipartisan probe on this matter. So what is your problem? You should not have a challenge admitting that the minority leader has tried to mislead the public and has been fact-checked and told that he is wrong. It is not the NDC who is saying that Afenyomakin is trying to mislead Ghanaians. No. It is the media.
Helen is even sure.
It is the media.
Helen is even sure.
It is the media. And we all know very well that what he is saying is inaccurate. So let us come to terms with this reality.
You've made us speechless.
You have never, as a party, referred to the Auditor General's report, which indicates that Gold Board has actually made a 5.4 billion Ghana cedi surplus.
You don't have shame.
You don't like surplus? You don't like surplus?
You people don't have shame.
Which people don't have shame? It is the MPP. For bringing out what
what do you say about
So let me just round up. Let me round up on this. Let me round up.
Okay, let me allow him
Helen,
a minute to round because I wanted you to respond to the surplus. But Godfred, please round up for me. I'll bring Jamal in.
So let us talk about our own system of accountability, which is the Auditor General's report, which has clearly indicated, which has. I did not say IMF.
No, but
we appreciate that.
We should ignore
but I want you to understand that even the IMF has not pointed that loss is sitting in the books of Gold Board, which you know. So the Auditor General's report vindicates the Gold Board CEO, and that is what we are standing by.
Helen,
let me
you
hear
see,
you, Jamal.
when you listen to the arguments, they seem to grasp for defense, looking for any other thing to stand on to make their defense. And which way? It's either they tell you Gold Board has benefited Ghana, so we should ignore the losses, or they tell you that the losses hasn't been indicated by the Auditor General's report, so we should ignore the losses, or Sammy Gyamfi is a fine gentleman, therefore whatever he does, we should ignore it. Those are the defenses they are giving us. Even on TV, I heard similar defenses and I was marveled. Look, you cannot deny the facts that IMF office is not at Asalam Down, or they do not use the same office as the MPP. You cannot deny the fact that MPP has no role or interest in ensuring that IMF record a losses when there's not.
IMF record loss. And where?
The IMF independently has a role it plays when a country is with it. That role gives them the mandate to check the books of a country. And in checking that books, they would bring out reports. And the reports, they will indicate to you the things that you are doing that are not good. You see, this whole code saga, when you look at the issue, at no instance should Gold Board and its activities incur costs, incur losses. In which way? Aside the mandates that Gold Board has been given, you know they have a 1.5 withholding tax holiday. In transactions of gold, there's a 1.5% withholding tax. In the issue of Gold Board, that has been taken away by the government. So when you look at the quantity of gold transaction done, experts have indicated that withholding tax alone could amount, for a year, could amount to over $2 billion US. When you add that to the 1.7, the cost is even more than the 1.7. The losses are even more than the 1.7. What are we doing to ourselves? Simple, let us look at this issue, find a way to stop the loopholes and save those losses in order for it to benefit our mother country, our mother Ghana. You people are finding ways to politicize it and make it look as if...
Jamal, can I ask a question, please? And Godfred, please bear with me. I wanted to ask, on the back of what you're saying, what are some of the maybe solutions that the NPP is proposing to...
Well, we've all seen...
stop the leakages.
We've all seen what is happening currently, where Galamsey issue has now passed our expectation. It is now even beyond what words can describe. Nonetheless, we believe a proper implementation of Code Board and its acts should stop Galamsey from happening. A proper implementation of Code Board and its activities through the regulations should stop this forex differentials. If this is what the Bank of Ghana says, and truly that is the value of our currency, why then do we have to resort to using the Abochi currency when we are engaging in the purchasing of gold at the grassroots? There's no way you can keep on doing that and you will incur losses. Then we should review the services and asset fees, where whatever is being done is incurring costs. We have to find a way to close that loophole, review it with experts and stakeholders. They shouldn't bring NDC experts who would now come and be saluting the boss because of the NOCO fuel and will not be able to give us the needed
you are even diverting from
consultation.
The topic.
She asked me a question and I was answering. Probably you didn't listen to it. You don't set the questions here. Then the other issue are the discount for off-takers. BOG should review that discount and cushion it in a way that will not incur losses to the country. We can't, within a year, lose $1.7 billion when we went to IMF for $3 billion for 3 years, when we can, within a year, make losses of $1.7 billion. That $1.7 billion would have been able to complete Agenda 1111 across all the 111 constituencies. Would have been able to complete, if not all, the Kumasi and Accra Highway, would complete a significant portion of the Kumasi and Accra Highway, which will protect life and also bring ease to Ghanaians. Aside from that, it would be able to solve a lot of problems, even the doomsday problems we are facing. Today, everything is expensive. Everything has become difficult. And when there are losses and there are questions to answer, you find a way of diverting attention by insulting those that carry the message. Why?
Godfred, how do you respond to some of these solutions? Because that's another critique that I've chanced upon on social media, that if the NPP have these critiques, what are some of the solutions to it? We showed on the screen what the IMF attributes these losses to. These losses that sit on the Bank of Ghana's books to these service and asset fees, off-taker discounts, and other program cost valuation effects. And also we talk about the exchange rate differentials.
When you go to melt the gold, the purity of the gold.
Ask me, why in a hurry?
Jamal wants to add a bit of clarity. Let me allow him for 1 minute.
Usually when they are doing the purity of the gold, so when they bring you a grams of gold, and they tell you this is the grams, when you go to melt it, you definitely remove some impurities in it.
Right.
So the value of the gold will now come down, or the kilograms of the gold or the grams of the gold, the weight of the gold will come down. So there's a loss
But what I understand...
You go and buy it 1 gram and you come. When you are saying when you do this,
but I
remove
understand
the impurities.
Gold Board will send out reps to go and monitor this process, and that also incurs cost because they've got to be remunerated for the work that they are doing.
Gold Board doesn't send people to money. Gold Board has people, like licensed people. That was when the Bower Rock issue came about.
Right.
Licensed to purchase gold from the small-scale miners and the galamsey on the ground.
Godfrey, respond for me, please.
You see, in fact, I've even now tried to put bits and pieces together to understand what he's talking about.
Because you don't understand the trade of gold.
Because the issue we are even talking about this morning talks about the petition. The petition
what I got
for investigation.
Then what I got, if you brought your own question, set it and go.
Master,
because I was told that we are coming to discuss the Gold Board losses.
Oh no.
So if you want to divert attention by going that tangent, it is up to you.
Listen. So you have simply
it doesn't matter. The 1.7 will be discussed.
And the truth of the matter is that we are talking about the petition by the United Party.
Do you know what it can do?
The petition by the United Party against the minority leader. That is key among what we are talking about today. But now you want me to get back to that issue, which I will not run away from. Now, if you talk about 1.7 billion loss and it is not in the books of Gold Board, someone asks a question. Why are you forcing there to be there when there is not there? It is neither here nor there. This propaganda you are trying to dwell on will not work.
What is there?
And you see, the minority leader, Afenyo Makin, is trying to run away. He should come back. He has been...
You You are saying somebody came to extort you.
My brother, listen.
And what is here nor there?
Tap cool.
Have you incurred the losses or not?
Look, we have said, Sammy Gyamfi has said
it is Ghana's money they are using to play Taskeleo.
Oh, listen.
We shouldn't allow this kind of politics.
Will you listen?
It is Ghana's money we are using to play Taskeleo.
Will you listen? If you will listen, it will help.
But Jamal, it's on the table because now it's been brought to the attention of
the table set by who?
So Helen,
this is a serious allegation.
By who?
These are very serious allegations.
Kindly restrain.
You are calling for support.
Oh no. Kindly, you should be restrained.
Gentlemen, let me interject very briefly because I will give you a time because I want to just lay it out that the discussion was about Gold Board losses, which we dealt with in some detail last week. Today's issue now involves this petition.
Yes, the petition.
As per the allegations that have been brought
I don't
forth.
regard the petition because those that sent the petition are not people of good character.
Jamal, I don't think that I can allow that.
You can disassociate your medium. I have said it.
No.
I have said it. I am entitled to my opinion. Because I know.
Is it because they are an offshoot of your party?
They are not offshoot of my party.
United Party came from where?
They are not
the MPP.
I don't remember the last time Solo.
Where did Alan Cash
to become a party
come from?
To become a party.
Where is the United Party?
There are certain regulations.
No. You are running away from your own
shadows. If you fail to follow those regulations,
you see, he has
you
nothing
are not
to deliver on.
A party.
All right, Jamal.
So just listen.
Let me let Godfrey come in, please.
You need to understand first of all that the United Party is an offshoot of the MPP. You cannot run away from that. If you go to space, if you go to the moon and come down, they are an offshoot. Now let's go to their petition. Their petition is based on the key fact that Afenyo Makin has made allegations. And if Afenyo Makin has made allegations, it is not out of place. He's a Ghanaian. If he smells something fishy in any government institution, he has a duty to call it out, which he has done. But I want you to understand that Sammy Gyamfi has responded and has gone beyond that to call him an extortionist. He has responded and watered down all his claims as false. Gold Board loss false. So on and so forth. IMF says it's in the books of Gold Board, which is not there.
We need to have a
which is not there. Let there be serenity here. Let there be serenity. Which is not there. Now we also come to the whole encapsulation of the matter. Where Ghanaians?
It's a lie.
Where Ghanaians? Which Ghanaians you are saying is a lie? Where Ghanaians who are an offshoot of your party has come up with a petition? And now you are saying that they are not of good behavior. Were they sacked from the MPP? Even if they were sacked from the MPP and you think that that's a basis to say that they are not of good behavior, you are living your own world, very small world. Now, let's come to the details of their petition. They are asking for a probe. And Sammy Gyamfi has said that they should constitute a bipartisan parliamentary probe. He is ready to appear there. Going further, he has petitioned the OSP, the Attorney General, the CID, and the Speaker of Parliament.
That was what they wrote for you to come and see.
Oh, come on. Haven't you seen the petition?
And for those of you who are watching us,
Yes.
we put a summary up on for you to also follow along with us in the discussion.
The petition is there. Nobody wrote anything for me to say. Look, I want you to understand that the world has moved on from just taking one man's word for anything. No. So it is not just about Afenyo making claims or allegations. No. We must probe every single word that has proceeded from his mouth. And if it is seen that he has said the truth, then yes, he is exonerated or vindicated. But if it is also seen that Afenyo has peddled falsehood and lies, as the media has clearly said is misleading, then there is a cause for that petition to function. And the consequences of it must also be biting. Even if it does not come to the point where we talk about applying the law, but the public opinion will come to terms with the reality that he has lied. But we don't want to get to that stage, considering the fact that he is the minority leader. And I already said earlier that I like it when the MPP or the minority in parliament call themselves mighty minority. I like it. Because the nature of their might should be out of the substance they bring before the public for discussion. I like it that way. But in this particular case, what we are seeing is the reverse. The reverse in a sense that Afenyo has led the party on a very slippery, muddy slope. And he also attempted to cross a river by measuring the depth of the river with both feet. So that has brought you to where you are right now. That has brought you to where you are right now.
We're here.
No, my time is not over. Has you stopped me? You don't tell me thank you. So I need you to understand that your party, don't salute me and say we are peers. Huh? Yeah. I need you to understand that your party has put you in a very, very, very uncomfortable situation. Where you cannot defend this issue.
Thank you.
Because we need a country that is progressive. And when young people are making significant progress in manning key national institutions, we must criticize them constructively.
Godfred, let me slide tackle you a little bit. Let me ask Jamal. Jamal, is the NPP quaking in its boots because of the allegations made? Is that why you don't want to speak to it? Is there some fear?
You see, as I indicated in my earlier discussion, this political gymnastics and tactics there is something we are all abreast with. When they tell you the best way to defend is to attack, we already know. How come there was no allegation on the person of Afenyo until he decided to take on this gold board matter? Sammy Gyamfi is a young man. That is why I wasn't surprised when the likes of Van der Poel felt out of maturity. When you are going about those allegations, especially when mandate has been given to you by the Ghanaian people, you hold gold board in trust for the Ghanaian people. So when issues come and legitimate questions are being raised on your stewardship and you believe it's a personal attack, therefore you would equally turn around and personally attack somebody. It is not right. It is not maturity. Politics doesn't make us enemies. Now, on the person of Sammy Gyamfi, who even makes those allegations. First of all, this is the same person that's claimed Haptel was a company that was formed by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, didn't he? He went on platforms and boldly, knowing very well that Haptel wasn't owned by Bawumia. But he told Ghanaians that when they pay their electricity bills, part of the money goes into the pocket of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This is not, people are not even using the same whip he used on people against him. People are just raising legitimate questions. Come and answer them. Your majority in parliament have blocked probes, among others. Why is the majority shielding him? The list or the report captured sectors that incurred the loss. When you look at those sectors, which one wasn't as a result of gold ball activity? It's just one or two. So when we are talking about losses to a country, we are making legitimate claims. We can't just overlook a 1.7 billion loss and say because you are handsome, we should let it go.
Speak to the report. It's not about being handsome
or
not.
Because certain people
speak
have
to the
decided
report by the United Party.
Bros, probably you just started politics. Because if you are in politics...
Thank God you said probably.
Yeah, because if you are in politics, this technique is not new. Sending motions, sending petitions, filing cases at the Supreme Court for interpretation, they are not new. They are elementary tactics when it comes to politics. And I'm telling you, I know your audience and your viewers, some of them are experienced enough to know these tactics. It is...
Don't try to court public sympathy.
It is a cycle.
Don't try to court
that
public
happens
sympathy.
In politics.
Speak to the
when your wall,
petition.
When your back is on the wall, you attack.
Speak to
will
the petition.
The Honourable Minority Leader avail himself for any investigations that will ensue
who
from
has invited
this?
him?
I'm asking, will he?
Who has invited him?
Will he?
I'm equally asking, who has invited him?
In future, if he's asked by any of these investigative bodies,
based on what?
Based on the allegations made by the
by who?
CEO.
As an extortionist.
Jamal, allow me to ask you the question.
No, I'm just trying to ascertain.
I'm also trying to ascertain from you. I'm asking you, based on what we've heard from Gold Board CEO, should the investigation that some alleged scheme had taken place with the
if he
minority
were to be a
serious
citizen and he wasn't engaging in politics of character assassination, if he wasn't engaging in politics of propaganda, lies that he's been engaging, he still feels he's in opposition. So he can make allegations all over. If indeed he was a correct citizen, a law-abiding citizen, yes, I'm saying it on authority. I, Jamaluddin says if Sammy Gyamfi is indeed a good citizen, he would have reported the issue to the appropriate courts to investigate. But you don't go.
I'm not sure I'm going to get my answer
You don't go
from
making allegations in the airwaves.
Jamal, mine was a simple question. I just want
I'm
to
also
find
giving you a
no,
simple answer.
No, you are not giving me a simple answer, Jamal. My simple question is.
Okay, I'm giving your audience a simple answer. You can decide not to take it. I'm saying if Sammy Gyamfi were to be a law-abiding citizen, if he were to be a good citizen with good standing, if he sees a crime that he believes is a crime, would report it to the appropriate courts to take it over. But because he feels he needs to turn around the attack on his activities at Gold Board, I'm careful not to talk of his person because nothing.
No, you have already said that. You said
nothing.
He's a good person.
Oh yeah,
good citizen
good
was
citizen,
how you captured it.
Based on the question you asked me. Now, I'm saying something different.
Okay.
That if he feels that his back is on the wall and this law says he needs to go fight tooth and nail to ensure that he would not be blamed for the losses incurred that has been clearly indicated in the report, no problem. We are ready. He can say all whatever he wants to say, accuse whoever he wants to accuse. It is not new because we've heard him accuse Dr. Bawumia of Oyin Haptel. We've heard him accuse Nana Akufo-Addo of taking bribes and stuff. We've had so many allegations against him.
So why?
And we are not surprised.
They should petition.
We are not surprised that in the instances where we are calling for probe of his stewardship, that incur losses, he is resorting to the trade we already know him to engage.
Thank you, Jamal. Time check, it is some 4 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 a.m. A very energetic start to the week, must I say. But very shortly, we have to say goodbye and leave the studio. And this conversation is unfolding. I think we were able to get a bit more out of Solomon Owusu this morning as to the trajectory of the conversation. In fact, he says he's going to be back in the jurisdiction come September 5th, and there's a lot more expose to come.
Nobody takes
him serious. So I've got to say goodbye to the audience.
Everybody takes him serious.
Do you know that trade?
The petition is a very serious petition.
Helen, is the mic off?
Is it because?
No, both your microphones are on. But I have to say goodbye.
I want
the mic to be off.
No, I want to.
You are not confident of what you are going to say.
Politics,
that is an offshoot. He's an offshoot of your party, and he's a whole communication officer of a party.
And me, look, we have relationships.
You should not be doing this to yourself.
Right.
There were instances when I was in
Gentlemen,
there were instances.
Haven't you read the petition
about me?
Haven't you read the petition?
Even my friends with
haven't you read the petition?
Were supporting me.
My brother.
This is normal when it comes to politics.
Relax,
that is why I said
all right,
you might probably be new to politics.
Gentlemen, I've got to go.
When Solomon Owusu comes down.